Before we begin, let me briefly tell you something about magic. Did you know that you're currently experiencing the biggest magic trick ever pulled on humanity? And it's so good that you stay trapped in the trick even after someone proves the truth to you. It's the illusion of standstill in any aspect. Now, what do I mean? If you take a few moments to recognize that everything is moving from the big stars and the wide universe down to the smallest particles of your very being, you will conclude that nothing ever stands still. There's a turnover of around 330 billion cells in your body daily. If you use specific tools to check out the walls surrounding you, it will be clear that something seemingly fixed is moving like the waves on the surface of an ocean. It is in the constitution of this universe, and yet some people would argue that things aren't moving for them. But that's just because things aren't moving the way they would like. They confuse a lack of motion with a lack of direction. Whether you like it or not, whether we are capable of seeing all of it or not, everything is literally dancing to a magnificent rhythm right now as we speak. And we are at this party, so let's learn to dance. Now, if you push any object in space, it will move in this direction forever. Pray tell me forever? Yes, forever ever. Now you can imagine that you were pushed the moment you came into this world, and ever since you are moving, even if you're lying on the couch and taking a nap. Our today's topic, how to transform yourself, is already answered by the laws of this universe. It solved a great challenge for us. The question to ask is, how to transform yourself into your desired direction? In other words, how do we steer that constantly movement of which we are part of in our preferred direction instead of being just a bystander? The basis for this achievement is first to localize where to start. Now, I'm not a pro in religious things, but I know the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. From the previous video, we've learned about the changing seasons. You can change the seasons, but you can't change yourself. I believe we just catch some juicy wisdom. You don't have to change the world to change your life. You don't have to search in the widest places of this world to find your starting point. It's always with you. It's you. Yes, the laws of this life are somehow biased in our favor for us to succeed. Lesson learned. We are constantly transforming, and to influence this transformation, we have to focus on ourselves. With this knowledge, we make a 3-step plan to transform into what you want to become. Don't confuse simplicity with stupidity. Simplicity is distilled knowledge, it's distilled wisdom. It's a skill which you can learn to leave out the noise. Step 1. Take an inventory. Imagine today is the first day of your life and everything that surrounds you is your starting point. You observe, making an inventory of all the circumstances. It's like taking a snapshot of a moving picture. Now, if you're an eager lad, you're gonna take a sheet of paper and a pencil to make an inventory like a pro, to answer following questions. Which people surround me? How good is my health? Where do I live? With whom do I live? Hey, who the heck is you? Sorry. Which skills and tools do I have? And which thoughts do I entertain and think of most frequently? This is an undervalued question. It might be a honeypot. Write everything down, and the nitty-gritty things too. Yes, also those nitty-gritty things. This is already very powerful exercise by itself, especially for those nitty-gritty things. As soon as you write them down, you create space between yourself and them, gaining a relieving distance. To solve those things simply by creating space first. I bet some of you are seasoned gamers. For you, it should be pretty obvious if we switch the perspective just a little bit. The first step we are currently in, observing and taking an inventory, is like starting a video game at level 1. You check out your surroundings and what this character is somehow capable of, and then the game is on. In a video game, you wouldn't spend a minute thinking why your character is 50 or 18 years old, why they live where they live, or why they are restricted to a single item slot, leaving you with almost nothing to work with. You wouldn't even wonder why they have only basic abilities and skills. I'm making this gesture because if you can see, smell, hear, feel, taste, visualize, think and move properly, and you describe those as basic by any chance, you should know that you already got the deluxe starter pack for life. Everything you need to succeed. Back to the gamer's view, you instantly start to work with what you have because you know there's a lot to discover and to conquer. You know that you will unlock the skills you need for the challenges and achievements waiting for you on the shiny horizon. The game doesn't give you everything at once, it gives you the potential to earn it. You get better because the game demands it. And you probably like it, don't you? You probably feel the excitement and joy for what's to come. And you know that it's possible. Maybe it's even out of question for you to succeed. Maybe you secretly hope that it won't be easy. What a great way of doing things. Feel that excitement and high self-esteem for your life too. A great benefit of this approach is it allows us to immediately eliminate one of the most common self-limitations people tend to put on themselves. Regret about the past. My friend, the past ain't gonna last. Imagine trying to ride that highway of life with the default look in the rearview mirror. Crazy! Now isn't it even crazier that some people actually live that way? I reckon you should look ahead, for your own sake and for the sake of everyone else. Once you have finished your observations in your game of life and the first step we are currently in, yes, I should probably use that whiteboard. You make it clear to yourself. The only way is forward, and you are the one running the game. Now we're at step 2 of our 3-step plan, goal setting. You're gonna love that. One of the great benefits of this life compared to a video game is that the direction and the goals are not predetermined. The great developer of this game, some call him God, loves that open world stuff, you know? And I personally appreciate that a lot. It's terrific. In order to transform yourself and your life into your preferred direction, you need to know what you want to transform them into. I have observed that this universe is precise, very precise. The laws are exact. Mathematics, as a classic universal language, doesn't compromise. Spaceships land with a precision of milliseconds and scientists can predict events hundreds of years in advance. The tides come and go like clockwork. The sun rises and sets precisely. You can count on it. If someone is surprised by the sunrise, you can be sure they haven't been around for very long. Benjamin Franklin said, "Diligence is the mother of good luck." Now I can tell if he sounded like that, but I do listen closely if successful people share their wisdom. So let's play by the rules and define the goals diligently. Just to make a quick note, I wasn't around when the rules were made, so please don't point at me if you are not happy with them. But hold on. Why should one even set goals? Isn't that for pedantic people? Is a person not happiest if he just lets the universe decide for what's to come? Well, what if the universe said, hey, let the humans decide for what's to come, and now the humans say, hey, let the universe decide for what's to come? Sounds like a perfect playbook Uno reverse plot. William Shakespeare, while known for drama, he often wrote about human agency. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Aristotle concluded that the human being is a teleological organism, where telos is Greek for goal. According to this well-read fella, our whole purpose is working toward a destiny, duty, or a goal. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist who is a leading voice on how the brain uses dopamine to reward goal-oriented behavior, explains that humans are biologically wired to pursue goals. Without them, our brain chemistry often leads to clinical passivity or depression. Still not convinced? If you haven't turned off this video yet to set your goals, I bet this shiny loose argument might just do the trick. Mark McCormack wrote in his book What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School about a study at the Harvard University conducted between 1979 and 1989. In 1979, MBA graduates were asked, do you have clear written goals and future plans to reach them? The outcome will bring out the money-hungry animal in you. It was found that only 3% of the graduates had clear written goals and plans. 13% had goals but had not written them down, while 84% had no specific goals at all despite graduating and enjoying the summer. These people were interviewed again 10 years later. The 13% who had goals but hadn't written them down earned twice as much as the 84% who had no goals. Interesting. But wait, I told you this would wake up the money-hungry animal in you. I set the bar high cause I can back it up, now watch this. The 3% with clear, written goals and plans earn more than the entire remaining 97% combined. Ooh, that's... Now we know that we are goal-driven creatures. It makes us happy to have them, work toward them, and reach them. And obviously it makes our pockets bigger. But how to set goals? Now if kids these days ask me, how to build a happy life? My answer is, it's simple. It's like baking. Take the right ingredients and let the other ingredients out. Don't overcomplicate things. We take the same approach for goal setting too. What ingredients do we use for goal setting? A quick thought experiment before exposing the secret sauce. I could set my goal to take a walk every day starting tomorrow. But if this is the only activity I do regarding goal setting, this walk will probably be a one-hit wonder or in best case an affair that lasts for 2 weeks. It's like wanting to bake cookies, but the only thing you do is throwing sugar on the table. So we need a solution for this phenomenon. Keep this in mind. Earl Nightingale, known as the Dean of Personal Development, defined success or happiness as a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. To him, you are successful starting the moment you are moving toward a goal, not just when you reach it. So it makes us happy to have goals, to work toward them, and to reach them. Reaching a goal is easy to recognize, but how do I measure my movement toward the goal? And how do I counter that one-hit wonder phenomena we just talked about? Here are the core ingredients for goal setting, the ones that cover both essential questions. Here's the first ingredient. You need a worthy ideal, something only you are capable of defining. This is the highest imagination of what you can achieve and who you can become. If you define it and it makes you shake your head, you are doing it right. That feeling is there for a reason. It's because the compliance officer in your head already knows which arguments to use to make your idea look stupid. He is ready to tell you why it won't work before you even finished your drawing. That's the trick. You have to smile back. Let your inner child come out, the one who is not affected by the limitation you have put on yourself. If you have kids, let them be your inspiration. Let's say, for example, you want to have the biggest kitten farm in the world. I was inspired by my niece for this example. And this is your first ingredient, the big shiny thing. And we need 2 of them. We just copy paste the first one. To make those high quality cookies, we keep one shiny thing as our guide and we slide the other one into smaller pieces. So here you can see the big shiny thing and the copy paste shiny thing we sliced into several manageable goals. This would be the biggest kitten farm on the continent, for example. This would be the biggest kitten farm in your country, and so on. You get it, right? And at the smallest piece, you arrive at the smallest goal. Just have 1 kitten produced by 2 cats. You are building a ladder to the sky, but you start at the clouds and working your way down to the point where you stand. Now, while we went downward in your imagination and on paper, in real life, we climbed the ladder upward. You have defined it from the sky down, but you live it from the ground up, step by step. The next ingredients are reasons, and here you can use as many as you like. Pour them on like there's no end to it. Reasons are based on emotions, and it's with emotions that we breathe life into that dusty paperwork. They act as a powerful magnet for your goals. And on the way toward your goals, you're gonna hit some potholes. And in those times, you better have some strong magnets. The more reasons you have, the stronger the pull. The last ingredient is a special one. Imagination. Let me be clear, I'm not talking about wishes. Wishes are fuzzy. Dreams are vivid. You can hear, see, smell, taste, feel dreams. You have to make your dreams so vivid that they pull the goals towards you. They have to be definite. Imagine a guy explaining his dreams for the coming years to his family and all he says is, I want to be good. I want to be successful. High income would be nice. What does good even mean? Successful in what? 1,000 meters is a high number to climb a mountain, but 1,000 pennies isn't a high income. Remember, in this game we have to be precise. Now you got the reasons on why to set goals and how to do it, including the right ingredients. Let's jump to the next step. Setting goals without a plan to achieve them is like a plum cake without plums. Yes, I'm somehow really into baking today. A game plan can make all the difference in terms of how your game of life turns out. It's both exciting and painful. Painful because it demands that you keep on with your plans, but it's exciting too, because you see your dreams become reality. almost like magic. Now you've got your ladder to the sky with your general goals. And if we take that kitten farm example again, level 1, having produced 1 kitten by 2 cats, it's probably easy to achieve. But the next levels? Those will definitely be connected to specific skills you have to master. To reach those further goals, you have to become the person who is capable of reaching them. That's why it's necessary to identify those skills you will need to learn. What does this person look like who leads the most successful kitten farm in the city? They know how to feed them, how to maintain the farm, which cats to pair for healthy litters without risking overbreeding, and how to apply those principles of business economics as well. And there are probably few more other skills to learn. These are skill goals. They make you big enough to actually run the show. To execute your plan, you have to schedule activities for both general goals and skill goals. To master those skills, you have to absorb knowledge, attend the meetings of associations and organizations, listen to masterclass, read the right books, connect with people who have proven to know how to achieve what you want to achieve. Put a timeline on every activity, every skill goal and every general goal. And there you have it, your roadmap is complete. There's a piece of advice I highly recommend. Always finish your day before it starts. Always plan your day before it begins. Yes, it's exhausting, but value is a fruitful result of effort, not hope. You will wreck some of your plans. You will feel frustrations at times, but you will get better. And you will find your own rhythm and learn how to calculate more precisely until it becomes a habit. And honestly, you will get addicted to it. Reaching milestones and fulfilling tasks triggers a dopamine rush that feels immensely rewarding, especially if you set the goals by yourself. Your days will line up, each one filled with a beginning and an end, with color, purpose, texture, and taste. The experience and knowledge you harvest on the road are overwhelmingly great. Because as someone once said, at midnight, the winged messengers come and gather up all these pieces and take them off to wherever the mosaic is kept. And surely, on occasion, one messenger says to another, wait until you see this one.